Hello everybody, and welcome to another Vintage Cube video. Also, Happy New Year's. I'm recording this on New Year's. I will not release it on New Year's, so I'll be a little bit late for y'all, but it is New Year's Day, so hopefully everyone has a great 2023. This pack is kind of weak. It's fine. There's nothing super good though. So, Path to Exile is an okay first pick. Smuggler's Copter is a pretty good first pick. You can take Rabblemaster or Chromox, and then there's Ashiok. I don't love first picking Pestermite. I would rather first pick Splinter Twin because there's only two of the Kiki half. There's Kiki Jiki and Splinter Twin on that half of the combo, and then on the other half there's Pestermite, Deceiver Exarch, Restoration Angel, and Zealous Conscripts. I think probably Smuggler's Copter is the best pick. It's very versatile. It's cheap. It goes into almost any deck with creatures. It pressures the opponent. It filters. I think Ashiok is my second pick, but I'm going to take the Copter here just because of the versatility. The fact that it's a 2-mana, like it has no colors versus the card that has 2 colors is a pretty big difference. Okay, there's a Tinker. Also Reanimate, both of which kind of work with Smuggler's Copter. I think I will take the Tinker here though. Extremely high upside. This is one of the best cards in the format when you can enable it. Copter is a sort of weird enabler. You want to have cheap artifacts with Tinker, and Copter is a cheap artifact, but you also want to have a bunch of creatures if you're playing this, and Tinker decks tend not to have a ton of creatures. If we want, I mean, we could just take Goblin Guide, but I think we will speculate on the Tinker and see if it's open. We might end up abandoning this plan, but very, very high upside. And it's in blue. I would much rather take a build around card in blue than in another color because blue is blue. You get the best card. You also get the best card selection. Okay. This is both of the recruiters is kind of funny. There's Umezawa's Jite, which is another card that's like in the same vein of it's an artifact for Tinker, but you want to have a lot of creatures in your Jite deck. Karn is pretty good. I think I will take the Jite though. And this is a kind of funny setup where if aggro looks like it's open, we can easily go in that direction, and then we can also go in the Tinker direction. We will want some like value creatures in either deck. So, you know, like cheap creatures that draw cards basically would like slot well into either deck. So both of the recruiters actually work pretty well in either shell. But yeah, let's take the Jite here. Okay, there's the twin, but I don't think I'm going to take that here. Expressive Iteration is the best card, and I think I'm just going to take that. It's very, very powerful. It's also, and we have a good blue card. There's also Uro, but I guess Uro does work kind of well with a Copter. Both you can discard it and then bring it back, and then also if you cast it, you can crew the Copter with the escape trigger on the stack. But yeah, let's take the Iteration. It's just a really powerful card. Wow, there's the Exarch. So I'm kind of wishing we had just gone twin at this point, but we have a pretty solid start for like a blue-red, just a blue-red value deck that potentially has a Tinker game plan. So I think I'm going to take Unholy Heat here. Lot of powerful multicolored cards, but yeah, let's take the Heat. Now we can take a Glorybringer. Nice pickup. There's also a late Recurring Nightmare, but we have no fixing, and that would put us into 3 colors. And we have no creatures. Yeah, we're not really in line to have that sort of strategy. Yeah, let's take the Glorybringer. Now we can take Seasoned Pyromancer. Okay. So red is looking pretty open. So I think we're looking like we're going to be a blue-red value deck. There's also Ballista, which is kind of a combo with Tinker, but I think Seasoned Pyromancer is a good enough card that we want that. And also, if we're playing Copter and Jite, that incentivizes us to have a reasonably high creature count. Now we can take a Battlesphere, though. That's a great pickup. It plays kind of well with our just general game plan. It's fine to hardcast. It plays well with Copter and Jite. And then it's also, like, if we just have the Tinker early, we can put Battlesphere into play very quickly. We'll take that. Pestermite Wield. Okay, interesting. So Rabblemaster would be very good for this deck. This is like a perfect card for this deck. But Pestermite, if all the twin stuff comes around, there's a Splinter Twin in the next pack, or maybe one later. Yeah, I think we take the Pestermite speculatively. Rabblemaster is good, but it's not so good that we are like really weakening our deck if we pass it. I think there's a good chance that the Splinter Twin is taken by someone, but very, very high upside if it's not. Okay, I think... No, it was the next pack I think that had it. So now we can take probably Arcane Proxy. It's a kind of funny thing. You can actually Tinker into this and then cast the Tinker again from your graveyard. So that actually works really well. Like, just casting this to flashback Unholy Heat's fine. You can sack it to the Tinker. You can crew the Copter with it. You can put a Jite on it. And it's a good Tinker target and a Tinker enabler. Really perfect pickup. And next pack we'll see, I think, if we get the Splinter Twin, and if we don't, we'll cut the Pestermite, and that's okay. This deck is solid. It's missing a few things. First and foremost, mana fixing. We have no lands. That's something we'll need to address quickly. Second of all, we have no counter magic, and in general, not enough blue cards, cantrips, counter magic, that sort of thing. But still, pretty solid start. Okay. We'll just take the Shark Typhoon. I think Pestermite is not going to be making the cut now, but Shark Typhoon's pretty good. It plays well with the GT. You can have GT in play. You play this on turn 2, pass on turn 3. They're like, oh, no creature. Great. End of turn, cycle the Shark, then untap, put the GT on it, and get in there. Alright, sorry, Pestermite. Okay. I don't love Char here. I think I'll just take Batterskull. Sparrow's Headquarters could help, but we're pretty solidly blue-red here. And, yeah, I'll just take the Batterskull. We could splash white for Stoneforge Mystic now. We're looking like a good Stoneforge deck. Alright, these cards are all bad for us. I'll take Thalia, I guess. Okay. Not playing these super light pickups, but that's fine. Definitely strong start. Given that the Splinter Twin and Deceiver Exarch were taken, I do kind of wish that we had taken the Goblin Rabble Master over the Pestermite, but I still think we're in a good spot. We have 11 cards that I'm very happy to play, but we do have a few needs. I mean, I guess you'll always have a few needs after one pack. I want a few more cheap artifacts for Tinker. I also want a few more cheap creatures for GT. We also could just end up not playing this GT if we have a low creature count, but it's a really, really strong card if we have enough creatures to enable it. Alright, pack 2. Pretty solid one. We'll just take this Preordain, which is a very good pickup. There's also a Coercive Portal, which kind of works with Tinker, but it's not really great to sacrifice to Tinker, and it's also not great to get with Tinker, so it's not the best there. The best cards in this pack, other than Preordain, are all these black cards. Kolaghan's Command, Bob, Lily. And we could maybe splash Kolaghan's Command if it comes around, but I think we just take the Preordain here, and we'll be very happy about that. It plays well with the Arcane Proxy, among other things. There's the Kiki Jiki, but we could just take that. We do have one Pestermite, but we know that someone else is playing Twin. We know we're not getting the Splinter Twin or the Deceiver Exarch, so I think, like, if this was the only good card for us in the pack, I would take it still, but we have a couple good options. First and foremost of which I think is Rogran Triome. I like Glen and Treasure Cruise a lot, but we have no fixing, and also white's pretty open, so this gives us outs to splash white. Like, maybe we will Spell Queller and then pick up like a Teferi later and go blue-red with a white splash. Yeah, I would love it if one of these cards comes around, but we'll take the Triome here. If I could restart the draft, though, with the information we have now, I definitely would have gone Twin. Like, we've now seen 4 different parts of the combo, and we're in blue-red. Again, I don't love first picking Pestermite. I would first pick Kiki Jiki or Splinter Twin over the Copter, but not a Pestermite. Wow, good pack. I think we take Volcanic Island, but Arid Mesa, Spell Pierce, Ponder, Chandra, potentially Teferi, all also really good, but we really need good mana. Yeah, it's painful to pass all these good cards, but I think that is the discipline pick here. Volcanic Island is just so important. I guess Ponder is kind of mana fixing too. But we're going to have tons of spells. Yeah, let's take the Volcanic Island. Close pick. Okay. We'll take a Flooded Strand here. Pioneer and Lar is interesting. It works well with Tinker. You can sack the tokens. There's also Force of Negation, but like I said, the thing I was most worried about before was the bad mana, and now we're getting to address that, which is very nice. I also think there's a decent chance Pia comes around. Yeah, I'll take the Flooded Strand. And now, all of a sudden, our mana went from pretty much atrocious to very good. This has been a great pack. Preordained into 3 pieces of perfect fixing. And now we can take... Interesting. Layla is the best card here. Urza is pretty good too, though, and there's also Relic, which is the best thing with Tinker specifically. I think we do take the Urza. Plays very well with Battlesphere. It makes a token that will be kind of large if we're trying to play Tinker. Yeah, close pick. I love Layla, but I think Urza is the right move here. There's also an argument for just taking a Dismember since we only have one removal spell at the moment, but I think we'll be able to find some more burn later. Okay, let's see. Spellseeker and Force of Will are the two considerations here. I don't really like either of these red cards. I mean, they're fine in some decks, but not this one. Spellseeker can find Expressive Iteration, but it cannot find Tinker. Our blue card count is a little bit low for Force right now. We might get more. I think we probably should take the Force. We don't have counter magic yet. We just don't have much interaction in general, so I think this is going to be too important to pass. Oh, wow. Okay, so really good stuff here. Dictator Time is great. Fury is great. Then there's Narset and Teferi, and we have a pretty good white splash now, and Teferi is really, really strong. Narset's also kind of mid in this deck because our creature count is reasonably high and we want more creatures. I think I'm going to take the Teferi. Oh, the Fury is so good. I think I'm still taking Teferi, though. I just love Teferi. I can't bring myself to pass this card. Okay, now I think we take Thieving Skydiver over Grim Lavamancer. This is a really nice card because it steals artifacts, and then we can sacrifice their artifacts to our Tinker. Okay. Alistair's the best card for us if we have the mana. We could take Thundermaw Hellkite, but I'm not really looking for more expensive stuff, especially, like, this doesn't particularly combo with much of our things. It's not an artifact. Yeah, I'll take the Oust. Spell Queller Wield. Ooh, also Treasure Cruise, though. We have an okay number of cheap instants and sorceries. And we don't have that much card draw. Close pick. I think I'm going to take the Queller, though, for a few reasons. First of all, it's great with Teferi. Because if they can't cast spells at sorcery speed, you can, like, quell their spell and then play Teferi and bounce your own Queller, and they can't recast the spell. Then it's also just, I want to be able to enable this GT and keep my creature count relatively high. Now we get a Chandra, super late pickup, or super good late pickup. Now Pia. This deck is coming together well. I think we take Relic here. I want to have artifacts for Tinker. It also plays well with Urza. It becomes basically a Mox Sapphire. Okay, Pyromancer. Probably not playing that in the main deck. Could get there, though. Breach is actually interesting. We could play this, potentially. Just as a nice value play. We have no other ways to use our graveyard because Treasure Cruise and Dig Through Time were both taken. Okay, good pack force here. A few options. Inspiring Vantage is kind of weak fixing. It's an option, but I think it's between Counterspell and Mystic Confluence. And I think we take the Counterspell. Mystic Confluence is a more powerful card, but our curve is kind of high already. I think we want to get some cheap plays. Yeah, I'll take Counterspell. I'm going to move this to the board for now. Okay, Wooded Foothills, great pickup. That can find Volcanic Island or Rogran Triome. There's also a Braid and Sacred Foundry. But yeah, let's take the Wooded Foothills. There's also a Mystical Tutor, but we're not really a Tinker deck. I think Tinker is fine in this deck, but it's not... Like, some decks are just all in on Tinker, and your plan is like Tinker for Bolas the Citadel and combo kill them. And we're more of just like a Jeskai, like, somewhat aggressive tempo deck that also has a Tinker subplan. But we're not all in on it, so I don't think Mystical Tutor is like an essential card. Plus, other than Tinker, we don't have great targets. Like, for Expressive Iteration is fine, but there's no Time Walk, no Ancestral Recall, no Fractured Identity. So yeah, let's take the good fixing. Okay, now we have two good pieces of card draw, Consecrated Sphinx and Factor Fiction. And I think in this deck I'd rather have the Sphinx because, again, I want to have threats, I want to have creatures, I want to be able to carry GTA and Crewcopter. And we also don't have anything that really needs the graveyard. This is great with Uro, it's great with Treasure Cruise, but we're not trying to fill our graveyard necessarily. So I'll take the Sphinx. Oh, Late mana drain. There's also Sundering Titan, which is a pretty good thing to tinker into, but definitely taking the mana drain. This card's broken. It also plays well with, it's like a kind of substitute for tinker because you can just like counterspell their 3-drop and then hardcast Consecrated Sphinx or Battlesphere way ahead of schedule. Okay. We could take Selesny's Signet, but I think I'm just going to take Snapcaster Mage. Plays really well with these 3 spells. Plays well with our counter magic. Yeah, just a good card. There's a Blightsteel. So, do we take that? It's pretty much uncastable if we don't tinker for it. And we don't have Brainstorm or anything to put it back. Plus, these cards are pretty good. Yeah, I actually think I'm not taking the Blightsteel, even though we are a tinker deck. It's also just kind of bad. Like, it's good against mono red, but, you know, like, we have many ways. Like, we can Teferi it, we can oust it, and it just, yeah, I think I'm not going to take that. So then the question is, which one of these two is better? I think I'm going to take the DRC. It's good for keeping the curve down. Yeah, let's take this. This card's really strong. Ooh, that's a super late Dak Fade-In. Wow, great pickup. Esper Sentinel is good. The mana's not really there for it, though. I think it is the pick, but I'm probably not going to main deck it. I think I got to take the Inspiring Vantage here. We have so many spells. There is Mizium Mortars, and we are a bit light on removal, but we need more fixing if we want to play these white cards, which I think is worth it. Nice. Sacred Foundry. Same reasoning. Abrade's good, but we, like, the mana is the most important thing here, and we have so many playables. Okay, this is a playable card in main deck sometimes, but we have enough cards that we can cut it. Okay, what are we cutting here? Do we have enough creatures for Copter? I think we do. But we're going to need to make a lot of cuts. I hesitate to cut the oust because we are a little light on removal. Maybe we move Thieving Skydiver to the board now that we have Dak. I think I like Shark Typhoon. Could cut Batterskull, I guess. Yeah, we'll cut Batterskull. It's good, but it's expensive. And then at least one more cut. Could cut the Copter or the Jite. Oh, Magda's tempting. It's very good with the Copter. Because it can crew the Copter. And then make a treasure token immediately. I don't think we're playing any of these cards. Yeah, and it also makes treasures. Which are good with Urza and with Tinker. Man, these last cuts are tough. I'm going to get a little greedy and cut the oust. This is putting us very low on removal. Actually, no, that's just too low on removal. We can't do that. I really like Arcane Proxy in this deck. Maybe I'll just move Jite to the board, but then again, I do want to have cheap artifacts to sack to Tinker. We could just cut the Tinker package, actually. We only have 3 cheap artifacts now. We have Magda. I do love how it works with Arcane Proxy, though. I want to try just to get the Arcane Proxy thing going. But we need to make at least 2 cuts. I guess I'll cut the Magda. And I'm going to be greedy and cut the oust. We're very light on removal. I'll acknowledge that. But we have a few other ways to do that. So first of all, Glorybringer, Chandra, Pia, and Kieran and Teferi are all a form of removal. Second of all, like, we can just counter a lot of stuff. And third of all, we have Jite to deal with small creatures. Okay, could we potentially run 16 lands? How bad is the mana if we do it like this? Solidly heaviest on blue. 13 blue cards, 8 red. I mean, we could just cut white, but the white cards we have are great, and I think the splash is kind of free. So, let's see. For white, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's perfect. We could even cut the plains, maybe. For red, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's good. And for blue, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, definitely need more blue. I think I'm going to cut the plains for a 10th blue source. And we'll run like this. It's a bit of a low land count, but our curve is actually not that high, especially when you consider that, it looks kind of high here, but Arcane Proxy is a 3. Force of Will is a 0. Shark Typhoon is often 3 or 4. We're trying to tinker into this, not hard cast it. So then you end up with most of your cards costing relatively low. And our fixing is, for how few non-basics, we have our fixing is surprisingly good because of just how we have 3 tri-lands with 2 fetches and a Rogran Triome. Alright, Jeskai, Tempo, Tinker. See you in round 1. Alright, here we are for round 1 against Archival Rain. Our 3 was no match for their 4, so we're on the draw, but we have a great hand. Definitely keeping this. We have all our colors. We have a good curve early on. Glorybringer's a good top-end threat. We don't have double blue yet, but we also don't have any blue cards, so that's only bad if we rip Counterspell into Mana Drain. Playing against blue-white, huh? Honestly, blue-white's probably a kind of tough matchup. Alright, well, I didn't want to draw a land, but if I'm going to draw a land, second blue source is a good one. Right, that's also a good one. I'm going to cast this now in case they, just so we can make sure we get our Surveil trigger. Spell Queller, that's a good one. Top. Then we'll hit for 1. And then we need to decide if we want to hold up Spell Queller or equip the GT next turn. It's kind of close. They play Elite Spellbinder. Okay, now we're definitely going to equip the GT so we can kill the Spellbinder. Chandra's going to be expensive this game. They're going to block here. That's fine, and we get to... We're trading our 1-drop with their 3-drop, and we're getting 2 GT counters. So that's a good exchange for us. Hero of Bladehold. Okay. This is fine. So we're going to pass and then play the Spell Queller. Well, actually, we can kill this, potentially. Yeah, we're going to try and ambush this with a Spell Queller and then shrink their Hero of Bladehold down to a 1-2 so it dies. We'll see if they're big brain and they stack the triggers right. They do. Okay, it resolves. They don't kill it, so we get to go to blocks. We'll do this, and then hit it with the 2-1/-1s. If they have Restoration Angel, they could get us here. I'm actually just going to shrink it once for now, because now our Spell Queller doesn't die. And, well, yeah, actually, I think this is fine. And then we can just go end of turn, shrink it. The only way we get punished is if they have Walking Ballista exactly, but that's not even that bad. Yeah, so we'll do it like this. Play land. Alright, in turn, try to kill this off. Nice, it works. Now do we gem Glorybringer or equip the GT? I think I'm actually, well, what are the things they could have? I think Archangel Avacyn is a fairly likely thing for them to have here. Could be Mystic Confluence too. Against either one of those, I would rather not play the Glorybringer. But just doing nothing seems kind of bad. Alright, I'm going to go for the equip play. If they have exactly Archangel Avacyn and we attack, it's kind of close. We can kill their soldier tokens. We're losing our Spell Queller. But then we can just play Consecrated Sphinx. We could also just pass. which is very conservative. But I actually think I like it here. I think it's pretty likely that they have Archangel Avacyn, and even if they don't, if they have nothing here, we're going to win this game. Yeah, this is a very conservative line, but I think I like doing it here. I think it's very likely that they have Archangel Avacyn, based on how they've played. Okay, the Wandering Emperor. This is, I mean, yeah, still very, very happy that we made the play that we did. There's just no way that a blue-white deck passes with 5 mana up and has nothing. Sure. So we're going to take 3 here, but that's fine. I don't really care about that. Our life total is actually not super high, but GTA can gain his life. Now, hopefully they tap out for something, and then we can just Palace Jailer. Okay, we have Glorybringer, but they might have an answer. This could be pretty... If they can kill or counter our Glorybringer, we're in really bad shape. But if Glorybringer hits, then we become the Monarch. We get our Spell Queller back. I think then we're still actually not in a great position because they can become the Monarch right back. But I think we're fine if that happens. So Glorybringer, hopefully this resolves. We'll attack them and exert. Kill the Samurai. Alright, so we become the Monarch. We get back our Spell Queller. Unfortunately, we don't have mana to equip the GTA, so we have to pass. Then they're going to become the Monarch again. But if we're both trading back and forth the Monarch, that's fine. The Monarch is only devastating when one player is just the Monarch always, and just always drawing an extra card. But if we're just passing it back and forth, we're both drawing 2 a turn, that's kind of fine. They can use the Wandering Emperor to take out our Glorybringer, but then they don't have great attacks. They could also plus this again to make the Palace Jailer bigger than the Spell Queller, but then they're not taking out the Glorybringer. We can definitely beat their board. The question is, what do they have in their hand? A GTA of their own. Interesting. Okay. That's pretty good. So go for this. They become the Monarch. They also get 2 counters. Figure of Destiny is fine. They only have 1 card. Okay, now we need to decide. Part of me wants to just jam the Consecrated Sphinx. And then if they are the Monarch, we still get to draw more cards than them. Okay, so I'm going to start by trying to attack them and become the Monarch back. They can use GTA counters to shrink our Spell Queller if they want. That's not that impressive, though. Alright, yeah, this is fine. Then we'll drop this Sphinx into play and pass the opponent. And our life total is getting low, so we are at some risk of just getting killed, but we're going to out-card advantage them. And, we have a 4-6 with flying. Hopefully we can find removal, though. We did cut the Alice, so we have Unholy Heat. We were really relying on GTA to get the removal done, but they've been able to combat our GTA fairly effectively. So they take out our Glorybringer. This Figure of Destiny is pretty scary. They can put 9 mana into it, so they can't do it this turn, but Soonest will become an 8/8 with flying and first strike. So we need to find an answer in time for that. That answer could be Teferi. That's probably our best answer. They don't have great attacks this turn on board if they have something in their hand that could change things. They could just send everything. We block the figure, take 5, go to 5. I'm not too worried about being at 5 with a GTA in play. Palace Jailer games are always interesting. We're definitely bringing in Oust. That's probably it. Maybe Batterskull. Okay, they equip GT to the Soldier and then swing with just Soldier. Okay, so they're trading the Soldier for 2 GT counters. That's good attack from them. We were definitely blocking though. There's no argument for leaving it back. They play tapped land and then Flicker Wisp to flicker Palace Jailer. Oh no! That is good. That's really good. Okay, now we're massively behind. The game isn't just over, but it's very close. Because we can't even hit with GT because they can shrink our thing. So we need to find something off this expressive iteration. Terrible. Hand, bottom, exile. We play this just to discard 2 lands. But yeah, I think unless we draw something very drastic here, we're conceding. Good cards, but I don't think they're going to get the job done here. What do we even do? I don't think there's anything we can do here. The only way we can win is if they mess up. So this gets beaten easily. They can just shrink this with G10 and kill it with Flicker Wisp, and then I'll concede if they do the line that is pretty clear. But this is our only chance for them to mess up here. So I'm going to go for it and then concede if they play correctly. So they can just block, shrink this down to an 0-1. We get no counters. Our hand's good, but we just lose to the board. Any white source, and they can use Figure of Destiny too. Yeah, all right. GG, you got me. All right, so playing against Blue-White Tempo. Their deck is kind of similar to ours. Let's bring in Thieving Skydiver and Oust. And bring out... I think the Tinker package still seems fine. Maybe I'll just cut the Relic. It doesn't do much against them. It's okay with Tinker, but Tinker's just 1 card. Maybe we even do just cut Tinker, actually. Yeah, I think that is actually the correct play here. It's good, but all these other cards I think are a little bit more important for us. And then do we want Battlesphere still? Yeah, I think it's important to be able to go over the top of them. So we'll run it like this. All right. On the play. I'm going to keep this hand, but it's pretty awkward. Having no creatures to crew the copter and no blue card to pitch to the force means we don't have that much action right now, but we have, like, most of our deck is live draws. Mother of Runes. All right, we have the answer to that, which is key. This card would completely take over the game if we... What? This card would completely take over the game if we didn't kill it immediately. Ooh, okay. I'm just going to pass for this up then. I'm not that afraid of any 2-drops they have, but they could play like Stoneforge Mystic. And we also, just Copter is not that good here. Okay, so now if they play a 3-drop, we can mana drain it into Mirror Battlesphere on turn 4. Caracas doesn't do it against us. Alright, I don't even care about this card, but I just want the mana. So we'll do this. Then put Battle Ball into play. Ooh, another good draw. And Mirror Battlesphere is a 2-turn clock. We also have Force of Will backup. Like, I would like to play the deck, but if they do something super relevant, we can just easily handle it. Palace Jailer. Interesting. I think we let this happen. Yeah, this actually seems really good for us. They take out a Mirror Battlesphere, but then we hit them with some Mirror and then get our Battlesphere back and make more tokens. Alright, I'm going to send everything. I don't want them to become the Monarch back, but again, we're going to get 5 new blockers, so that's fine. And then I think I'm going to play Copter and pass and hold up Force of Will, pitching either. I don't really know which one of these blue cards we want to pitch. Either one seems fine. I mean, we're just there's no way they can really come back from here unless they play like a Wrath of God, but I can't really imagine their deck playing that. And we even have the Force, so yeah, I think this one's pretty over. Mana Drain. What a card. Teferi, I'm not even going to counter that. Don't care about this. We can kill it easily. They bounce our Battle Sphere, but we can replay that soon. Then Stoneforge Mystic. Okay, that's a little bit annoying. I still think we're in a good spot, though. I'm just going to not even attack on the ground. We'll just kill the Teferi in the air with our Copter. Keep in mind, we're still the Monarch. Okay, do we want to play this Dragon's Rage Channeler? That means we no longer have Hardcast Force of Will up. Let's start by just hitting their Teferi for 3. Alright, we'll discard Island. I don't want to play the DAC because I don't want to let them know that we have that. I want them to play their GT out. I think we're just going to pass. We can just like make a big shark potentially or Hardcast Force. Expressive Iteration is another good draw. We can just shock for Sacred Foundry. I'm not too worried about my life total here. Gideon. Do we care about that? I don't think so. We can kill that with flyers. I want to win the game with the Force of Will in hand. Like, when you have Force of Will in your head, which is the situation now, you really want to be very judicious about when you use it. Alright, another good draw. Now we have Snapcaster Mana Drain. Do we kill the Gideon or just hit their face? I think we just hit their face, actually. Don't really care about that Gideon. And then if we can get our Dragon's Rage Channeler to have... Oh, they have Solitude. That's interesting. I think I kind of do want to Force of Will this. No, we could Snapcaster Mana Drain. Ooh, wait. Does this work? We could Snapcaster Mana Drain. And then in our second main phase, we get a 5 mana boost. And we can play Mountain and Hardcast Mer Battlesphere. So let's do that. The only problem with this line, which isn't even that big of a problem, is that we can't discard our Mountain to the Smuggler's Copter. I think given that they have GT, I am... Okay, they just concede, sure. Their deck looks very good. A lot of powerful stuff over there. Do we want to play this Batterskull? It's weak to a lot of their stuff. Oh, land tax? Actually, I don't think we want land tax. We don't have good enough white mana for that. Arcane Proxy might be too weak now that we're not playing Tinker. It's very good with Expressive Iteration, pretty good with Unholy Heat, Alice, Preordain, and that's it. So maybe we cut that for Batterskull. Yeah, I think I like this plan. Arcane Proxy is also soft to Teferi. I do wish we had Stoneforge Mystic. This would be a very good Stoneforge deck. So we're on the draw for game 3, and their deck is good. I think we're probably not favored when we're on the draw. I mean, I guess it's like many matchups where we're probably favored on the play, not favored on the draw. The fact that we have relatively low removal is bad. We also have no board sweepers, so we can't afford to fall behind on board. We need to be close. We can't have them have way more creatures than us at any point. We also need to always be ready for Palace Jailer, and hopefully have ways to become the Monarch. There's actually a slight argument for just playing Pestermite as a value card. It's really good in a Monarch game. It's an instant speed, evasive threat that can also tap an attacker or a blocker. Okay, this hand looks a lot like our first hand, which lost, but I'm still going to keep. No Mother of Runes. Yes, okay. I guess GT is fine against Mother of Runes. Alright, if they're just hitting us for 2... Oh, now they have the Mother of Runes. Okay. This is really bad now. Okay, let's play GT. Get our Surveil. Mirror Battlesphere. That's like the worst thing we could see because we have to graveyard it, but now we just don't have Battlesphere in our deck. And then we can't even really do this trade. Well, actually, I think we have to. I don't like this. They're probably going to block here. I think we need to push damage. Okay, they don't accept the trade, which means the attack was good because we didn't have blocks. But the problem is we can't put GT counters on the Dragon's Rage Channeler while they have Mother of Runes in play. We could potentially beat what they have right now, but if they add anything else to the board, it's going to be really tough. The one good thing is this is 2 card types. So if we can get Delirious, then they can't block this with anything, and we can get GT counters, and then GT kills the Mother of Runes. So actually, best draw here would probably be Preordain. And if we play Preordain, Surveil, a land into the graveyard, we become Delirious, we equip GT, hit them, and kill their Mother of Runes. They have Teferi, though. That's honestly not that bad for us. It's not good, but I think I'd rather see a Teferi than an Elite Spellbinder. They bounce the Channeler, okay. Hit us for 1. Now, if they just curve, Figure into Mother of Runes, into Teferi, into Palace Jailer, GG. Hopefully that's not the case. Interesting. I think we just play DRC and equip GT to it this turn. And then next turn we can play Seasoned Pyromancer to get Delirium by discarding land instant. And this triggers whenever we deal combat damage to anything, so we can attack the Teferi. This would be so nice if they just level up Figure of Destiny and hit us for 2. The true best case scenario would be if they tap out for an equipment, though. If they tap out for Sword of Body and Mind, we can kill Teferi and kill both of their creatures while developing our own board. That would just be phenomenal. They have the land. Please no Palace Jailer. Gideon would be bad, but potentially beatable. Palace Jailer is completely unbeatable. Teferi plays very well with Palace Jailer. It removes blockers and attackers, and also just prevents any shenanigans. When your opponent has to play at sorcery speed, you can plan your attacks perfectly and just make sure you are always going to be able to hit them to become the Monarch. Okay, Recruiter of the Guard. That's great news. They can get the Palace Jailer, but we're going to get Seasoned Pyromancer into play and set up Glorybringer. So this seems fine. They are going to level up the Figure of Destiny, so we can't kill that, but still. I guess they could have... they could get Solitude. If they get Solitude, we're in bad shape. Hopefully they get Palace Jailer, though. They don't know that we have Seasoned Pyromancer, so they don't know that we can get Delirium. Right now, we only have one card in the graveyard. There's also a slim chance they don't have a second white card for Solitude, but pretty unlikely given they're close to mono white. They do get the Palace Jailer. They could still have Solitude. Hopefully they're just leveling this up. Nice. Okay. This looks relatively okay. So again, Seasoned Pyromancer. Okay, Mana Drain is the new discard. Island to play around days. Then we play Seasoned Pyromancer. And we need to discard a land in an instant, so we'll discard Island. And then I think I would rather have Force of Will in hand than Mana Drain, because we might be able to force this turn. If we find a blue card, which we don't, but that's fine. Now we get to kill Teferi, and Mother of Runes, and Recruiter of the Guard. Unless they have Solitude. I don't like this pause. Come on, please work. Yes, okay. Good position now. Let's kill Mother of Runes, which they can't protect from this because it's colorless. And then we'll pass. Keep the counter on the GTA for now. We'll probably end up killing this Recruiter of the Guard, but we'll do this for now. Okay, this doesn't work how you want. They can give protection from red, but this is the GTA, not the Dragon's Rage Channeler, so that doesn't work. We'll pass. And they can play Palace Jailer, but we are pretty good against Palace Jailer with a Glorybringer in hand. If we had a blue card, I would say that this game is pretty much over. But given that we don't have Force of Will, there are things they could have here that would get us. There's an argument for just killing the Recruiter of the Guard on our turn. A couple cards that would make us want to do that. Oh, that's too bad. If they had like Gaia's Cradle, or if they had Restoration Angel. But alright, so they kill this. In response, we kill the Recruiter. Too bad. But we're still in an okay position. They don't have any attacks. We can play Glorybringer and kill their Figure of Destiny. Or just hold up Force of Will, actually. That's kind of interesting. Hopefully we just draw a blue card. We don't, but we draw a good card. I think Glorybringer is better than Force of Will here. Because if their plays Palace Jailer, that's fine. We have tons of creatures on board. We can become the Monarch right back. Yeah, I think we just want to push the advantage and become as ahead on board as possible. We're also just attacking for a lot. 3, 4, 5, 6, 10. Just want to make sure that we're exerting here. So again, if we had a blue card in hand, the game is over. We don't, but Palace Jailer is not good when you're behind on board, which they are right now. If they somehow have a Wrath, we can rebuild pretty quickly with Pia and Kieran Lar. If they have Solitude, it's pretty good, but they need to do it now. If we untap, we can just win because we can hold up Force of Will. Okay, tapped land. They're holding Palace Jailer. They play the Palace Jailer. We'll see which one they take out. No matter what they take out, we can become the Monarch. Okay, Dragon's Rage Channeler. That was the right pick. Now we're going to attack with both, and they're going to get to eat our Elemental. Interesting. So we can play Iteration into Pia and Kieran Lar. But then if we played, what are we hoping to hit off Iteration? Like land plus a blue card to put in our hand. I think I would prefer to just play Pia and pitch the Force to Expressive Iteration. But let's start with attacking with both. Yep, they block there. We get our thing back. We become the Monarch. I kind of do want to play Iteration, actually. But maybe we just don't need it. Okay, yeah, I'll hold it. We're gonna play the Pia and Kieran Lar. I would prefer to be able to play Expressive Iteration next turn, but we'll hold it this turn. Hopefully we draw another blue card too. Okay, Alice. That's actually pretty bad. We don't have any white mana. We've gone through 17 cards and not hit any of our white lands. But we're very ahead. We have lots of blockers. We are the Monarch. If they have Flicker Wisp to flicker this, so be it. They can take out our Glorybringer, but then we can become the Monarch again. If we untap, we can also throw Thopter tokens at their creatures. And they're at 7. Okay, they do have the Flicker Wisp. Do we just Force of Will this? I think I will, actually. Yeah, let's force this. Because if they don't, they need this to resolve. If they can't become the Monarch, they're going to lose. In the end, we discarded Mana Drain over Force of Will. That didn't work, really. Like, Mana Drain would have been better this turn, but we do get there. All right, sweet. Interesting match for sure. Always fun to play against Palace Jailer is the kind of card where if you're playing hard control, it just sucks. You just lose. You can't become the Monarch. They draw 2 cards a turn. The game ends. But if you're playing a tempo creature deck, it's actually really interesting interplay. So that's cool. All right. On the draw once again, unfortunately. We rolled a 1, but our hand is good. If they don't have anything in the first 2 turns, it's amazing because we can Mana Drain their 3-drop and then play Consecrated Sphinx. And that will just end the game instantly. But that hinges on them not having relevant plays in the first 2 turns. Keep. Spara's Headquarters. Okay, that's the sort of thing we wanted to see. We draw Island. I'll take it. Some argument to playing Island first to play around Wasteland, but in this hand, I'm actually fine with them playing Wasteland. Okay, nice. They have the slow start we were hoping for. Dack's also a good draw. And now we're just going to play Draw Go. Our hand plays really well at this game with Mana Drain plus Spell Queller. I would love if they just jam Teferi or something, but they don't. Alright, I'll play the Foothills. Alright, they want to play Draw Go. It's fine with me. I'm not going to play Spell Queller here. Let's get our Triome. There's the Teferi, good draw. Next turn we can play Teferi with Mana Drain up. Okay, still no plays. I think okay, drawing Force of Will pushes it over the top. Let's go for the Teferi. Slight misplay here. That actually could be somewhat significant. We should have gone to our second main phase. Interesting. They have a Queller of their own. I think I'm going to let this happen, actually. We don't need to fight now. We can deal with this later. Hopefully they now take it. They try to go for this opportunity to stick a threat when we're down on mana. And even if they have, like, you know, they could have the same thing we have, Teferi with Counterspell backup. We Mana Drain, they counter, we Force of Will, then we win the counter war on tap, slam Consecrated Sphinx, and that probably ends the game. Okay, they just pass again. Fine. I think I'll play Copter. It means we don't have double Counterspell up. But just pass it. Like, if we play Draw Go, like, this deck is good at Draw Go, and this hand is good at Draw Go, but if we're just taking 2 a turn, the pressure is actually on us to break the pattern. So, I think that's the move. And then next turn we can go, if they just swing, we can just go Copter or Queller and crew the Copter and hit with that. Okay, interesting. I think I'm going to let this resolve. We have Dack Fayden to try to steal it. I think I'm going to go for this Queller line here. If it works, we get to eat their Queller and get back our Teferi. We also have Force of Will to push it through. Mana Tithe. That is pretty bad. I'm not going to Force of Will to Mana Tithe. We take 2. But now we're in a good spot to resolve our Dack and steal their Grim Monolith. Good draw. Do we play that instead? I think I am going to play that instead, actually. And then do we attack with a Copter? I'm not going to because I like my hand a lot. I don't really want to loot. I guess it is trading 3 damage for 2 damage, but I think I would rather just... Now the pressure is back on them to make a move. And when we have Counterspell, Mana Drain, Force of Will, we're good if the opponent is making the first move. They would need to have a lot of counter magic to beat us. And then if we draw land... Actually, no matter what we draw, we're probably playing Dak next turn. I hope they play something big this turn. If they just play, like, Jace Vryn's Prodigy or something, it's kind of close. Orzhov Signet. Okay, I think that's not relevant enough to counter. Okay. I'm going to go to my second main. And then play Dak. Arcane Proxy. I think we bin this. It doesn't do anything with our hand. Yeah, graveyard. Okay, that resolves. Let's take their Monolith. They can tap it in response. Don't really care about that. And now there's another situation where I don't even really want to Dak myself. Like, I guess I would because I want loyalty so we can steal the Signet. But my hand's great, and this is the kind of matchup that can go to mill. Shark Typhoon would be annoying here. It looks like that is what it is. Bummer. Okay, so that's really good. It's a quick clock, very quick clock. If we can kill the Spell Queller, we get our Teferi and we can kill the Shark, but we need a way to kill the Queller. So definitely very behind now. Shark Typhoon is the worst thing for us that they could have had there when we have literally triple counterspell. We desperately need them to just tap out for something. Like, they're playing this game really well, I think. They're playing well. The fact that we have not been able to use Mana Drain is quite bad. We could have countered the Orzhov Signet or something, I guess. Okay, this is something we're going to counter for sure. Do it! No! Why did you stop? Please, just play your thing. I mean, the fact is, they have a 5/5 flying on the board, so they don't really need to do anything. The status quo favors them. We also don't have good ways to kill that shark. It's pretty good against GT. It survives a Glorybringer or a Chandra hit. We need to get Delirium for Unholy Heat. Okay, nice. Mana Drain. And if they counter back, we have Force of Will. Not interested in a tapped land. Snapcaster Tithe. Okay, I'm going to Force of Will the Snapcaster because I don't want them to have a 2/2 or 2/1 on the board. Chandra I will keep. Especially when we're getting a 4-mana boost this turn. Alright, so that works. That's great. They don't have any... Or they can hit us for 5. We'll see if they kill the Dak or hit us. They probably should just go after us. They don't, though. Alright, Dak's down. That's fine. Oh, this is great, actually. We can Chandra kill the Spell Queller. If we draw land, we can really do it all. Oh, wait, no, we knew we weren't drawing land. Okay, but we might off the Teferi. So let's go red, red, Chandra. We're looking for untapped land now. Unholy Heat. That's good, too, so we'll top that. We're not going to be able to play Consecrated Sphinx this turn, but that's fine. Kill your Queller. Then we get our Teferi. I'll still keep the Unholy Heat. Bounce your Shark, and then we'll just use the leftover mana to untap Monolith. And I'm just gonna hit them for 3. Do we want to? Is there any difference between Crewing Copter? Crewing Copter just mills us for 1 because I don't want to discard any cards, so I'm just gonna hit them with the DRC and pass. And now we have 2 Planeswalkers and 2 creatures on board. They have a lot of mana, but not enough to do any like Mind Slaver shenanigans. We have a very, very good removal spell and a good hand. And with the Grim Monolith, we have mana to cast the Battlesphere. So I think, unless they have something like Upheaval, the game is over now. Granted, we've gone through all our counter magic, so if they do have Upheaval, there's not much we can do about it. Consecrated Sphinx, okay, we have a 1 mana answer to that. One mana, no downside answer. I think this is the only card in the format, or the only card that's ever been printed that does this. Oh man, lots of gas. Alright, so let's plus this for mana, and then just jam a Mer Battlesphere. Then we can hit them for 6. Okay. So Blue-White Control. Back-to-back Blue-White decks. This one does seem more controlling. They have a lot of good cards against us. Queller's great. Snapcaster's great. Shark Typhoon is very, very good. But I think I like our chances. Do we want Thieving Skydiver? We did see multiple artifacts, so I think I do. I don't really want Jite, though. I'm kind of tempted to just cut the Tinker again. The matchup where we really want Tinker is against Combo. But in these sort of grindy decks, we just hardcast our big things. Esper Sentinel is tempting. It would require us to reconfigure our mana base a little bit. As in adding 1 planes. Relic is okay, but probably not amazing. It does hit Snapcaster Mage. Maybe we make this exchange and then cut 1 mountain for 1 plains. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 white sources. Is Sentinel worth it? It's really good if we can play it early, but it's not very good late, and if we only have a few white sources, it might be hard to play early. Could also try to get land tax in here. So one option is just go more creature heavy. Play like Magda, maybe even Thalia. I don't think that's necessary though. Darkfleet Daredevil seems decent. Okay, I think we run it like this. Esper Sentinel might be bad, but I think the upside is high enough that it's worth it. And even if we play it in the mid game, it's not terrible. Okay, I think this is a keepable hand, although it's the mana's a bit awkward. We need more lands, and also having a tap land plus a 1-drop is not ideal. Opponent's on 6. Like that game, we played like a hard control deck, just like draw go, draw go, draw go, lots of counter spells, planeswalkers to steal your stuff, but we actually have a lot of creatures. Like, that was not a tempo game at all, but we can easily tempo them out, especially with a hand like this. The best draw would be Ponder or Preordain, because that would help us to fill our graveyard for Dragon's Rage Channeler, and then we could flash it back later with Snapcaster. Tundra go. Alright. Given that we drew land, I think I will just play the Channeler on 1. Before, I was just going to play the Triome. This isn't a card like Ragavan that we need on turn 1 necessarily. It's just going to hit for 1 extra damage, but we're in a situation where we can afford to hit them for 1, so we might as well. Okay, that's scary. Alright. Shields are down. We could try to bluff a counterspell, but I don't want to mess up my mana sequencing too badly, so let's just play this and then see what they can do. If they don't do something this turn, we have Dak to steal the Grim Monolith. Also, if they ramp into something that we can Dak, that's great too. But if they just play like land Consecrated Sphinx, the game basically ends. Oh, no land. That is great news. Do we just go for the DAC? I'm going to start by swinging. And if they play Spell Queller or something, then I'll just let that resolve and play DAC. Maybe not, actually. We'll see what they do. They just take the 1. I think I'm just going to pass. It seems a little risky to just jam when we've seen that they have multiple pieces of interactive spells. Plus, even though we don't have a counterspell that can hit Consecrated Sphinx or something, they are unlikely to just jam here. Okay. Good draw. So let's play Island. Hit for 1. And now I'm going to go for the DAC. We can play around Mana Tithe, and if they have Spell Queller, we can force. Miscalculation. Okay, I will force this. Pitching, I think Queller. No, Snapcaster Mage. I don't think... Island's a fine draw. I think I'm still going to graveyard it, though. Relic, I will graveyard as well. And we steal this. They can tap it, but that's fine. Now they just don't have much going. Like, I'm so much less afraid of them with 3 mana than them with 5 or 6. Alright, that's a weak Time Walk. Now Direfleet Daredevil becomes a really good draw. This is another one of those situations where the DAC Plus is kind of bad. Like, I like my hand. I don't really want to discard any of these cards. But we will plus so that we can steal an artifact soon. Alright, I'll discard land. I think just Consecrated Sphinx. I'm going to play land. Do we just jam? No, I'm not going to jam. We're just going to swing for 3. Hold up Queller. And untap Grim Monolith at the end of the turn if they don't do anything. We have them on a pretty quick clock here. Next turn we can play Glorybringer through Mana Tithe, most likely. And then... Okay, they just jam Queller. I think I will quell their Queller. It's kind of close. But this could kill their DAC. Kill our DAC. Alright, they just concede. Sweet, so we're 2-0. I'll see you in the finals. Alright, here we are for the finals. Fighting for that trophy. We're on the draw again. We lost every single die roll. This hand is bad if we don't draw a blue source. I think I'm going to risk it, though, on the draw. We're on the draw. We have a cantrip with a relic. And it is very good if we do find a blue source. High card quality. Are we really... Every single game we play against blue-white and we lose the die roll? Weird. Hopefully they just pass. They do. Nice. Alright, we're going to play that and then pass and crack the relic end of turn. Just to dig. Best case scenario, they tap out for a War and Power Stone or something here. Some artifact that we can steal with DAC. Preordain, okay. They should have probably held the land in case they drew another land they wanted to play more. Bottom, top, and pass. Okay, I think I'm just going to shock and pass here. Hold up the Queller. We could jam one of our threats, but I don't think there's that much of a value in it. And our threats aren't even that good here. Like, DAC is not amazing in that situation. Okay, let's just keep playing Drago. This is fine. Shark Typhoon was a very good draw. So we're just going to make a 2-2 end of turn, and then I think we will make a move via Expressive Iteration if they don't do anything. Alright, Shark time. Nice, very good to get a land there. Okay, let's start by hitting for 2. And now... I kind of want to keep Spell Queller up. We could play Expressive Iteration, But if we do that and it resolves, then we have to discard the hand size, which I don't really want to do because my hand's good. So I'm just going to preordain. And the next one we can play Arcane Proxy. Okay, I don't think we need an unholy here, but I'll keep an island. And then we pass. And next turn we Arcane Proxy to flashback preordain. We keep Queller up still. Strange League. You don't normally see so much draw go in Vintage Cube. That's fine. Teferi. Alright. We go for it. They might have a counter back, but even if they do, then we can stick some good threats, so that's fine. Jeez, how do you keep on playing these Spell Queller decks? That's really bad. Because now they can bounce their own Queller. I mean, they're not going to do it now, but Spell Queller plus Teferi good, like I said earlier. So if we play Chandra and kill that, yeah. Oh man, that's actually so good. All right, I'm gonna play Iteration. Terrible, terrible hits. Wow, that's unbelievably bad. All right, I think we just put the Seasoned Pyromancer into play to pressure the Teferi. So let's go. Force in hand. Mana Drain on the bottom. Exile Inspiring Vantage. And we play this. Discarding Jite Force of Will. This lets us go kind of wide. Hopefully kill the Teferi. It's kind of annoying that we played against the same deck 3 times in a row. I like... It's fine, but I would love to be able to try out this deck against some other things. Okay, they pass with all of their mana up. What's our best line here? Few options. We could just hardcast Consecrated Sphinx. We could play Chandra and minus on the Queller. And then if, like, we don't get to cast our Queller because of their Teferi, but we could kill their Teferi and then play our Arcane Proxy. I actually think I'm just going to jam the Sphinx here. Well, how good is... Let's see. Snapcaster plus Expressive Iteration. Maybe that's better. Okay, I'm going to play Snapcaster Mage. We'll see if it resolves. Alright, flashback iteration. Okay, we'll go Glorybringer in hand, Battlesphere on the bottom, exile Mountain, play Mountain, and then I'm just going to play Dak, and I don't even care that much about it. I kind of want them to counter it. Although if it does resolve, we can loot away some of these lands that we don't really need. Counter draw, okay. And then I'm going to go for the attack on the Teferi. Like, if they have something, they have something, but getting the Teferi off the board would be huge. Right now on board, if they block the Seasoned Pyromancer, we do get to kill the Teferi. They do have something. Okay. This is fine. They get to keep their Teferi, but we get an extra land. Them using the path on that, like, we have really good things they would much rather path. Yeah, I think this seems okay. It depends on what they have in their hand, but our hand is pretty good. We have a lot of lands. We have, They're not really pressuring us that much. They have Teferi, but that's not like okay. That Teferi is a real problem. Now we need this to work. So we have a really good play lined up. They might have interaction for it. So I would love to draw Teferi to clear their interaction. What we want to do is Glorybringer, Exert, and then we could kill both of their planeswalkers. Very, very high upside. How much mana do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we can play Chandra. Okay, so land. We're just going for it. They've already gone through Cryptic Command. They've gone through Path. Just tragic. Okay. So now we get to resolve Chandra, but we're in a bad spot. So Chandra kills their thing. Unfortunately, we don't get to cast the Spell Queller because of Teferi. Yeah. Then we'll kill their little Teferi. I much prefer, or I care about the big Teferi way more. But I think killing the little Teferi is worth doing here when we have the chance. Then hit big Teferi for 1. Pass. And they're going to get to untap with big Teferi, which is terrible, but our hand is stacked. Oh, they also get mana drain, man. I forgot about that. I mean, yeah, their deck is insanely good. Both Teferis, mana drain, path, cryptic. But we'll see. If they're mana flooded or something, we could still win. Our hand is great. Time warp with Teferi. All right. Come on. I mean, their deck is just the absolute dream blue-eye control deck. More stuff? Come on, opponent. Give me a break. Council Judgment. Chandra's down. If they have multiple counter spells, the game is just over. They've already played 3 counters, counting Spell Queller. So maybe they don't have it. But this is just a terrible matchup. We need to be aggressive. We cannot play a control game against them. So we're going to side in a bunch of creatures, including Thalia and Esper Sentinel. That's a good plan. And then just hope that they don't have the nut draw. But like their deck is just better than ours. So if we both players draw well, they crush us. So we need to basically get under them before they can find all this insanely powerful card draw. Consecrated Sphinx, alright. Yep. We have a few plays. I think I'm going to play Arcane Proxy as small. We could play big, but it's casting the same thing either way, Preordain. And this gives us more mana to play whatever we find. And if we can find Unholy Heat and kill this, then we could theoretically kill the Jace. Tinker's bad here. Yeah, these are both bad. Oh, I forgot about that. But honestly, this is fine. Like mill is a big part of our plan in this situation. Let's play Urza. Do they have Mystic Confluence too? No, Venser. Okay, we'll counter this. And then pass. We don't really have good attacks. We could hit the Jace, but I don't think that's worth it. So we'll pass. At this point, our plan is just to let them have all the card draw and just try and run them out of win conditions. If they're light on win conditions, we could get there. Although, granted, we haven't even killed anything that's really a win condition. Vendilion Click, okay. presumably targeting us. That's kind of a cool combo with Consecrated Sphinx. They get to draw 2 more if they want to. It'd be crazy if they also have Caracas to combo with their Venser plus Click. Okay, Teferi's a good draw. Soul Ring? Oh my god. Bribery. They can take our Mirror Battlesphere. Man, this is just an absolute... Oh, they... What? Weird. Why did they take that instead of Mirror Battlesphere? I think Battlesphere is still in the deck. Yeah, that's very weird. We can Teferi bounce the Pia back to our hand. And they attack. All right. Aggressive, but I think it makes sense in this situation. Down to 14. They have a lot of flyers, but we're going to get Pia and Kieran Lar. If they have another counterspell for Teferi, we probably... I won't concede to that, but we're probably going to lose to it. Mana Drain? Okay. Okay. If there's a will, there's a way. Interesting to see if they continue drawing. They have 8 cards left in their library. So we have reasonably good attacks if we bounce the Pia. The question is which one of their Planeswalkers to go at, or go at their face, but I think we go at Planeswalkers still. I'm not too worried about them drawing a bunch of cards, but the Teferi Ultimate would win, and the Jace Ultimate would too. Okay, they decide that they are going to draw, alright. Teferi. Okay, that resolves. We'll pick up our Pia. They can keep drawing if they want. That's the ship has sailed on containing their card draw. I don't think they will, though. Yeah, they choose not to. Alright, I'm going to play this and crack. I think we have 1 basic mountain left. We also have a Triome, but I want the untapped land. Okay, our deck doesn't have much action left. Unholy Heat would be solid. Alright, we'll play the Pia. I want to play this pre-combat to grow the construct. Now we send everything. How do we want to attack here, actually? Don't really want to lose the Jace, or the Urza. Let's go Teferi. We could just send everything at Teferi. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that, actually. Or... I'll send this one at Jace, and everything else at Teferi. Just kind of makes them chump block this. Maybe Jace is the one I care more about, though. Teferi Plus I don't care that much about. Teferi Minus I care somewhat about, but not a ton. Yeah, honestly, Jace bouncing stuff is scarier. So I'm going to send everything at... I'll send the big one at Teferi and then everything else at Jace. And then we can use Urza plus Pia and Kieran Lar to throw Thopters at whatever we want. Okay, interesting. They let Jace die and they let Teferi go to 3. Now we could jam Consecrated Sphinx, but I think I'm just gonna pass and hold up mana. I don't really care about card draw in this position. Weird that they didn't block anything there. We do have Teferi in hand, so we don't need, or in play, so we don't need to worry about any shenanigans from them. They tuck a Thopter. Weird. Okay, so do that. Red, blue. Kill the Vendilion Click. So they're just trying to go aggro, but I don't know if they realize how that works. It's not super impressive. So Jace and Teferi are down now. Oblivion Ring. I think I'm going to mana drain this. Yeah, we'll mana drain. Brawl. Okay, that card sucks. I don't know why they're playing that. Signet, that's a good card, but it's not impressive here. Do they want to kill our Teferi or hit us? Everything at us. Alright, I think I'm just going to trade a Thopter with a Thopter. And then if we find Unholy Heat for the Consecrated Sphinx, I think we just win. We can spin Urza multiple times. There's another flyer. Okay. Alright, I think I'm going to start by just spinning Urza. Hopefully hitting Unholy Heat. More Battlesphere. that gives us a lot more mana. They concede. Wow. I cannot believe we won this game. They played 2 Teferis, Jace, Time Warp, Mana Drain, Cryptic Command, Path to Exile, Bribery, Soul Ring, Consecrated Sphinx. What a game. Jeez. Alright, so we win game 1 somehow. Their deck is just a really powerful, hard control deck. What do we want to do? I don't think we want Jite. I don't think we want Tinker. Do we want Esper Sentinel plus Thalia? Like, here's all the creatures that are actually relatively okay here. So we could cut Relic, bring in all of these. We want a creature count to be a little higher. Or, our white spell count to be a little higher. We could cut... Arcane Proxy seems fine. What's the last cut? Maybe we just don't play Magda. And then we'll cut 1 island for 1 plains. Since we brought in 2 white cards. And 13 creatures is a fine creature count for a Thalia deck. Yeah, we'll submit like this. I just really want to play Esper Sentinel into Thalia. No such luck, but we have great mana, so I'll keep it. We could potentially turn 3 Consecrated Sphinx if they don't do anything for the first 2 turns. Alright, no Soul Ring. That's good. There's the Thalia, but we have mana right now, so we're going to hold that up. And then if they just jam Teferi and we get to jam Consecrated Sphinx, we're in a great position. No such luck on that one. Oh, they are jamming something. Okay. Mana Drain. They do have Path to Exile in their deck, so they could just have that here, which would be very good against Consecrated Sphinx. But we still actually, I mean, that's card advantage for us. And if we draw even once off of this, we're in an amazing position. Alright, we do draw at least once. Actually, I should not F6 because we have, okay, well, no force, so we can't F6. Jace, bounce the Sphinx, fair enough. Good draw. So let's go Urza here. I think we're slightly ahead, but their deck is great. I mean, they could easily go like Teferi or something here. They draw that. They don't bounce the construct. With Force of Will up, I think we're actually in a pretty good spot. Their deck is so good. If we win this, it'll be so fluky. They have the potential to go like Island Soul Ring, Island Jace, Island Teferi, just like or Plains Teferi, I guess. And yeah, just such a good suite of Planeswalkers, so much good counter magic. But somehow we're still the plucky blue red deck is still fighting the good fight. That's fine. Dahlia plus Force of Will is kind of a funny combo, but it's fine. All right, they are playing another thing. What, Wrath of God? Glenn. That is worth a counter. That card is scary. Let's pitch Snapcaster Mage. I don't want to lose the Snap because we have Snap Mana Drain, but we can just cast Consecrated Sphinx very soon. Let's untap. So if we play the Consecrated Sphinx, we're not going to be able to kill the Jace. I think it's still worth it, though. I think Consecrated Sphinx being in play for a turn is better than Jace being in play for a turn. I'm going to get another blue source. And cast this thing. Hit Jace for 1, pass. There is a real argument to have just pitching Consecrated Sphinx instead. Then we can kill Jace and pass with Snap Mana Drain up. That might be better, but I really think getting the cards, or like keeping the cards flowing with Consecrated Sphinx is important. Although just drawing a bunch of lands is terrible. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we have 7, under a third of the rest of our deck is lands. All right. There's a slim chance they shame concede here. This puts them up 1 card, and it puts us up 6 cards. All right. Yes. I think I'm just going to say yes to all of these. We're going to discard some cards to hand size. That's fine. Do they have the board sweeper? Bribery. Okay. That's kind of bad. They can take our Mirror Battlesphere. I think we're still ahead, but that's good for them. Chandra, okay. So let's start by killing their Jace. And then we have 6 mana, 7 mana. Oh wait, yeah, we can. So we'll play Esper Sentinel since it's free. It makes a mana off the Urza. We will play Chandra plus for mana. Then we can play Copter. And then Preordain, tapping Sentinel. Okay, bottom, but I'll keep the DRC. Actually, no, I don't think we need DRC. We want to find a way to get this back. We draw Plains, okay. We'll play Plains, Thalia. Alright, good turn. Pass, discard, Flooded Strand. I will draw 2 more cards. We need to find Teferi. Okay, there we go. So they send this as Chandra. Wait, this is not how you want to make this attack. Okay, this is fine. They don't tap anything with Mer Battlesphere. So now we can just eat all their tokens and let Chandra die. That's one option. I think I am going to do that. Killing Chandra is okay. And Mirror Battlesphere is not that scary when it's on its own. So we lose our Chandra. If they have a board sweeper, it's kind of bad, but we still have a lot of follow-up, both in our hand and in our deck. Restoration Angel. This actually does work. I think they thought that wouldn't work, but it does. So Restoration Angel, I think it says return it to the battlefield under your control is what it looked like it said. I thought it was under its owner's control, but it looked there like it said your control. I'm not 100% sure, so but yeah, that if it is the owner's control, which is what I thought until I just read it, then that would mean that that it would have gone to us. I'm going to quickly look it up. Restoration Angel. Then return it to the battlefield under your control. Yeah, so that would have worked. They would have been able to flicker the Mer Battlesphere. I think we still probably win that game because we can then just bounce the next turn, have Counterspell up. But at any rate, they concede, so we get the trophy. You love to see it. This was our Jeskai Tempo deck, and it was a sweet one. Okay, a couple thoughts. First of all, we played against Blue Eye Control all 3 rounds. They were varying degrees of control versus tempo, but that's kind of annoying. I really wanted to play against some other decks because we had a pretty sweet Tinker deck, and I really wanted to Tinker into Arcane Proxy and then Flashback Tinker and Tinker into Mer Battlesphere. And that's what we want to be doing against combo and what we want to be doing against aggro. But against control, that's not as good. Tinker's weak to counter magic. Also, control decks can handle these threats better. But like Mono Red just loses to that. And that would have been a really, really sweet line that I was hoping we could do. But we didn't play against a single matchup where that was good, really. So that was too bad. Just that we lost all the die rolls and played against Blue Eye Control 3 times. Kind of annoying. But the deck itself was very, very good. First of all, counter magic, counterspell, mana drain, force of will. That's great. 3 of the best counterspells ever. Mana drain, I don't want to say it overperformed because it's top 10 card of the format, but it showcased its power there. It plays especially well with specifically Consecrated Sphinx, so I'm happy we had those 2. Also worth noting, Consecrated Sphinx was amazing. We took this over Factor Fiction, and that absolutely paid off. GTA was okay in some situations. Chandler was pretty good. Snapcaster was pretty good. Urza was strong. I mean, a lot of cards performed pretty well here. Arcane Proxy was not amazing. It was good with the Tinker thing, but we never pulled that off. We did get to Flashback and Expressive Iteration at one point, also a Preordain, so it's fine, but not amazing. Teferi, Dak, always good. They were good here too. The mana was pretty good, actually. There was almost never a time when we had the wrong colors, even though we only had 6 non-basics. There was some luck involved there. It also helped that we were basically blue-red and splashing white. The more balanced your color, ironically, you wouldn't necessarily think this, but the more balanced your colors are, the worse your mana tends to be. It's a lot easier to be blue-red splashing white than just pure Jeskai. So the mana was great. We didn't have any value lands of like Manlands, Library of Alexandria, Wasteland, stuff like that, but just having the right colors for our spells was plenty there. Shark Typhoon was good. I liked being able to bring in Thalia, Sentinel out of the board. Maybe we should have just had Thieving Skydiver in the deck. It's a great card. Everyone's playing artifacts. But really sweet league. And some games where I thought we had no chance that we were able to claw back and get the victory. And then also just some sweet turns. When they brainstormed when we had Consecrated Sphinx and we got to draw 6. Then just play like Chandra, Sentinel, Thalia, Copter. At least one other thing. That was just an awesome turn. So I'm happy we were able to do that. And I'm happy we were able to trophy. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And I'll see you next time.